Okay, so first thing we'll look at then is how you're standing the golf ball. As you can see there now, in terms of setup with the knees, we're flexing the knees a little bit less.
Yeah.
Okay, still maybe,
too much, though, is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you were setting up with your knees like that, okay, I'd still probably mention them if that was the start of the lesson. But as you've moved from that, okay, to that, we're okay at the moment, okay? I think just being aware of that, always keep in mind, can you see the laces on the front of your shoes there, okay? As long as you can see that, you're in an okay position, okay? Otherwise, your posture's very, very good, okay? But I think just be mindful of your knee bend. By having that sort of checkpoint, your knees in the way of your feet, then that's going to be a good thing to be aware of, okay? So, because it'd be very easy to, if you come up at the weekend or when you come next week sometime, to sort of probably go somewhere in between that position there and that position there, and you're going in the wrong direction back to where you were squatting. And as we said, that squatting at setup will cause your legs, you look at the yellow lines as you go back, your legs now come off that line quite a lot, and your hands are very, very high, elbows high. Everything now in your golf swing from setup, because you started quite low, I suppose, in these, has gone in that direction, yeah? Just straight up, yeah? Now, as the old saying goes, what goes up is going to come down. You're going to be coming down to that golf ball like a lead balloon. Yeah. And you then got to try and make some adjustments to try and miss the ground, which you'll get better at doing.
Yeah.
It's not an ideal way, okay? We'll go back to that analogy across the Grand Canyon from a 2-foot wide bridge or a 10-foot wide bridge. I'd rather a 10-foot wide bridge, okay? So this swing here now again, we look there, slightly shorter backswing, which is fine, but that elbow now is more where we want it to be. Now a little bit more turn, a little bit more movement, a bit more wrist hinge, that club would get to the top of the backswing. You just want to see the club at the top of the screen. It's not too far from being short of full backswing, okay? But you can see the difference in your arm and your elbow especially. The right elbow now being just beneath your right shoulder means your left arm now has to kind of go across your shoulders. If your left arm went above here, your hand would just be off the golf club apart. You couldn't do it. So focusing on one joint or one body part,
changing the other.
Everything is kind of working there. You see a lot of people, they go for this, they'll see and people say, what you want to try and do is get your left arm across your chest and your right elbow down here and and you try and move 3 independent body parts together, and there's like, what's going on? If one works normally or correctly,
the other one's got to follow.
They've got to, exactly. We're kind of connected in such a way that if we simply took this right elbow from this here and brought him down there, well, that's going to come down there, and that's going to come down there. It's going to happen. But if you start trying to swing when you first did that, and I said to swing a bit flatter, you whipped your left arm so low across your chest, and you're too far the other way. And there's a spectrum, like we say, you can be too steep, you could be too flat. We want to be kind of somewhere in that kind of middle ground, somewhere just right kind of thing. So from there now, as we come back down, the club now can come back down. See, just before impact here, the shaft now is this side to the left of the golf ball, whereas this one now, as we come back down, the shaft there sort of coming a bit on the outside across the ball, so the ball pinging off to the right there. And look how high when you finish this swing your arms and elbows are, and looks a bit out of balance there, feet having to kind of save it kind of thing, and that follow through compared to this one. That to me just a much more, see your feet there on its toe, you've rotated through nicely there. It's just a much more kind of efficient swing, everything's kind of working. Your hands always working underneath, kind of if I put a line on here now, sort of the swing plane line we talk about, you put through here the old pane of glass that Ben Hogan wrote about in 1953, still relevant today. Hand swing under that, hand swing under that, hang swing under that, okay? You look on this one here now where you were. If we put your line there, your line moves up because your head kind of comes up. Whoop, the arms are off there. Then they go back down underneath it, okay? Hit the golf ball, okay? And then they're back the other side. So you go, So you're really up and down off plane 3 or 4 times during that swing. Well, in a swing that's lasting 1.5 seconds and 4 occasions you're changing your plane. Good luck.
That's massive,
it's
isn't it?
It's going to be like an up and down like a...
So it's going to be a lottery, really, in terms
of... exactly. And what happens, you get enough balls from the same spot, you're a good enough golfer, you'll figure out that day what straight is, and you'll know what feeling of just move my hands a bit here, or move the ball up and move it back, and you'll tinker, and eventually you'll kind of figure out what needs to be done to hit the ball towards target, whether it means adding a bit further left, or a bit further right, or moving the ball here and there and everywhere. But more often than not, you're changing the wrong thing, or changing multiple things to get a result that is going to be guesswork to some extent.
That's exactly what I thought was happening, Gareth, which is that's excellent.
Yeah, the thing is, you're going to go in blindly into what might happen, so just like, eventually I'll just keep trying this, and something might stick, and it might work on a day. You might come away from a practice session, and you're like, boys, I tell you what, bring the weekend on, let's double the stakes this weekend because you hit the ball great on the Thursday or whatever it may be. and then come the weekend, like, what was that bloody feeling again?
Yeah,
Go on that
yeah,
first tee, big old banana slice, hit the ground behind the ball, second shot, like, what am I doing? And then swing thoughts start and resonating again. Oh, I did this, and this, and it's like, yeah.
And for
good
me,
luck.
just having those two things to work on.
Yeah,
now,
so two things to set up. Yeah,
stance
wider and taller.
And that elbow is
I mean,
great for that.
you go away from today and you can think of 4 words: wider, taller, right elbow.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just what your right elbow is going to do.
Yeah,
You don't just think about your right elbow, being aware, and that's why I always try and cut it. I don't think I got the practice with it, but make some swings that are kind of sort of this length to start with, and just get the feeling of what that elbow's going to do. Just keep doing that there. The more that eventually sort of keep clicking in, and your right elbow will start getting used to working there, as opposed to going whoop. And I mean, you go from there. I mean, you're okay about here, but even then, when you're not even halfway back. There, your elbow now is level with this, and then now it just keeps going and going and going and going. And you can almost see that your head's sort of going up there, you're rising up with your body, your legs are straightening. So you just start from one position and just go up. And then, as you say, when you're that steep,
no wonder.
your hands now are above plane with the club very, very steep. Now you've got to try and bring the club back down under plane, which you nearly do. Okay, but you're a bit above it. Your hands now work back underneath the line. Then they shot the golf ball, but the club's not got back here, so you're pinging off the right there. Then the hands work above the line, so you're just very much V-shaped with the swing rather than that sort of circle around your body. So get that angle better, get that ball work on a much more efficient. And what you're looking for as a result when you're practicing is the ball doing more of that. Oh, sorry, that one. Get that one. Doing more of that, not this kind of high right, and then you basically stepping into the ball this way, or counterbalancing that and doing that and stepping the other way. And if you're losing balance with a 7-iron off a flat lie, put yourself with a driver, your balance will be lost more. Put it on an uneven lie, it's going to be even worse, isn't it? And out on that golf course, you're in a lot more longer clubs than your 7-iron, and you're playing off uneven lies, and you've got wind blowing, you've got other elements that go into consideration, okay? So on here, we shouldn't lose balance really at all, especially with 7-iron or 8 or 9-iron, okay? But if we work more on a sort of universal, more neutral plane, things are going to be more efficient. We're not going to be there trying to like and fight your balance all the time.
I get that absolutely.
Okay, makes sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Good man, very good.